If you're over 60 and constantly struggling with sciatica or that sharp burning nerve pain shooting down your legs, I want you to stop relying only on leg stretches. They might give you a few minutes of relief, but they never touch the real problem. In this video, I'm going to reveal the truth about sciatica, what most people completely misunderstand, and show you the 3 key exercises that can actually calm the pain at its source. And stick with me until the end because I'll also uncover 3 common mistakes that are secretly making your sciatica worse and how to avoid them. First, let's get clear on where this pain actually comes from. Without understanding the real cause, you'll waste precious time on exercises that don't really change anything. A lot of people assume sciatica is just a leg issue because that's where the burning, tingling, or numbness shows up. But the truth is, it all begins in your lower back. Here's the science made simple. Your sciatic nerve, the longest nerve in your entire body, starts in the lower spine and runs all the way down through your hips, thighs, and into your feet. When part of this nerve gets pinched or compressed, usually around the L4, L5, or S1 vertebrae, the nerve signals can't travel smoothly down the line. That's why you feel pain, numbness, or even a burning sensation through your legs. Think of your sciatic nerve like a garden hose. Sciatica is what happens when someone steps on the hose. The water doesn't flow properly, no matter how much you try to fix things further downstream. To make the flow smooth again, you've got to lift the foot, pressing down on it. That's exactly why addressing the lumbar spine, not just the symptoms in your legs, is the key to real lasting relief. So what's putting that foot on your nerve in the first place? The answer depends on your age. For people between 30 and 50, the most common culprit is a herniated disc. But once you're past 60, the story changes. Now, the likely cause comes from age-related changes in your spine, things like spinal stenosis, degenerative discs, or arthritis. These changes are as natural as getting gray hair or wrinkles. And while they don't always cause pain, sometimes they gradually narrow the space where the sciatic nerve passes through, leading to pain in one or both legs, and sometimes in your lower back too. Now that you understand the real reason sciatica shows up after 60, let's dive straight into the very first exercise designed to target the root cause and begin easing that pressure so you can finally move with less pain and more freedom. To release the pressure on your lower back and experience almost instant relief, here's the first position I recommend. Begin by lying down on a flat, comfortable surface like a yoga mat or carpet, and use a small pillow to support your head. Next, rest your feet on the edge of a chair, couch, or sturdy stool so your knees bend naturally and hover above your stomach. Your body should look like the letter Z. From here, let your lower spine sink into the ground and flatten out naturally. Allow your legs and feet to feel heavy as they rest on the support. Many people start noticing their pain ease within the first minute or two. You can stay in this posture for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even up to 20 minutes. Just adjust until you feel completely at ease. For an extra boost of comfort, place a warm heating pad over your lower back. This simple position is one of my favorites because it works for both herniated disc sciatica and age-related spinal conditions. And if you're over 60, there's a special bonus. Keeping your legs elevated above heart level can also reduce swelling and improve circulation in the lower limbs. For even better results, try gently flexing your ankles up and down while in this position. I suggest using this posture whenever your sciatica pain flares up, even several times throughout the day. It's one of the fastest, safest ways to calm pressure on both your spinal cord and your nerves. Now that you've got a go-to position for quick relief, let's move on to the second exercise. This next one is designed to create extra space in the joints of your lumbar spine, easing compression, and helping that irritated nerve finally breathe. Before we continue, here's a quick but important caution. If you ever notice sudden numbness in your groin, difficulty controlling when you urinate, or strange changes in your bowel or bladder habits, don't wait, head straight to the emergency room. These could be rare but serious warning signs of cauda equina syndrome, a severe type of nerve compression that requires immediate medical attention. With that in mind, let's move on. Exercise number 2 is backed by clinical guidelines for treating sciatica related to degenerative spine conditions. The recommendation: repeated lumbar flexion movements, basically controlled forward bends. These movements gently open up the spaces in your lower back, giving the sciatic nerve more room and reducing the pinching effect. Here's how to do it. Sit on a sturdy chair with your feet placed a little wider than shoulder width. Slide forward slightly on the seat and rest your hands on your thighs or knees wherever they feel natural. From this position, slowly bend forward. letting your hands slide down your legs as your hips and lower back curve forward. Go only as far as feels comfortable. Once you're there, pause and hold the stretch for about 5 seconds, breathing in deeply and exhaling fully. Then gently return to the upright position, sliding your hands back up your legs. Repeat this motion 10 times. The secret is to move slowly and intentionally, listening to your body rather than forcing the bend. When you bend forward, the key is to let your back and neck fully relax. With each repetition, try to go just a little bit farther than before. If this stretch is working for you, the pain in your legs should start to ease or even shift upward toward your back. This is called centralization, and it's one of the best signs that you're moving in the right direction. But if you notice the pain in your leg getting worse, stop right away. This exercise might not be the right fit for you. If you do feel relief, I suggest performing this move 10 times, holding each forward bend for about 5 seconds and repeating it several times a day. For people dealing with spinal stenosis, where nerve pain or tingling gets worse during walking, this stretch can be a game changer. In fact, I recommend doing it before, during, and even after your walks to help keep the discomfort under control. Now, if you're a bit more flexible and want to add variety, there are other lumbar flexion exercises you can try. One simple option is the knees to chest stretch. Lie flat on your back, gently pull your knees up toward your chest, and use your hands to hold them in place. Hold for about 20 seconds, then release. Repeat this 3 times. Another powerful move is the child's pose, also known as the prayer pose in yoga. Start on your hands and knees, then slowly sit back, bringing your hips toward your heels while keeping your arms stretched out in front of you. Rest your forehead on the floor, let your neck relax, and feel the tension melt from your lower back. Stay in this position for 20 to 30 seconds, repeating 3 times. Now that we've focused on opening up space in the lower back with these first 2 exercises, it's time to strengthen. The next move is designed to build stability in your lumbar spine so that the space we just created doesn't collapse again. Here's how: lie on your back with your knees bent and feet flat on the floor or on your bed. Place your hands lightly on your thighs. Gently tighten your abdominal muscles by pulling your belly button down toward the floor, almost as if you're flattening your lower back against the surface beneath you. Even this small pelvic tilt can reduce pain. From there, take a deep breath in. As you exhale, lift your shoulder blades slightly off the ground, focusing on engaging your core rather than straining your neck or chest. Hold for just a moment at the top, then lower yourself back down slowly as you inhale. Aim for 2 sets of 15 repetitions. If you struggle with neck pain, you can place your hands behind your head for support, but remember, don't pull with your neck. The power should come from your core muscles. And if this version feels too challenging, you can scale it down with a partial crunch, lifting only your head and shoulders a couple of inches off the floor. Even if you've learned the right exercises, there are still a few traps that can keep your sciatica from improving. In fact, many people without realizing it make these exact mistakes, and they end up prolonging or even worsening their pain. Let's walk through the 3 biggest ones you'll want to avoid. Mistake 1. Forcing perfect posture. You've probably heard the advice to always stand tall with your chest out and your back arched. But for older adults with sciatica, that rigid, upright posture can actually make things worse. Why? Because arching the back is the opposite of lumbar flexion, the very movement that helps relieve pressure. When you hold yourself too stiff, you close down the space in your spinal joints, which can squeeze the sciatic nerve even tighter. Instead, allow your lower back to relax. You don't want to slump completely, but don't force yourself into a military stance either. And here's a practical tip when watching TV or reading: choose a recliner instead of a hard-back chair to keep your spine comfortable. Mistake 2. Overdoing it with walking. Walking is often recommended for general health, but for those with sciatica caused by spinal stenosis, long walks can actually irritate the nerve. That's because walking is an extension-based activity which can narrow the spinal canal. If you enjoy walking, keep it light and build in frequent breaks. Use the seated forward bend stretch we practiced earlier. Exercise 2 before and after your walks. Or swap some of that walking time for low-impact alternatives, like a stationary bike or a compact pedal exerciser you can use while sitting on the couch. If you find that just 5-10 minutes of walking already triggers nerve pain, that's your sign to adjust. Mistake 3. Refusing to use mobility aids. Many people in their 60 seconds, 70 seconds, and even 80 seconds resist using a cane walker or other aids because they feel it makes them look old or weak. But here's the truth, these tools can dramatically reduce strain on your lower back and decrease pressure on the sciatic nerve. If you're unsteady, consider a rollator, a four-wheeled walker with a built-in seat. It gives you support, and you can pause to rest or even do your seated stretch whenever needed. Now you know the 3 simple exercises that bring real relief and the 3 common mistakes that could hold you back. But maybe you're also dealing with stiffness and aching in your knees. If that sounds like you, I've got another video waiting, the 5 best exercises for knee pain designed specifically for people over 50. Click over and I'll see you there.